Good morning. On behalf of my co-host Barbara Kay and the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, welcome to Mosaic.
Our special focus on Mosaic today are the opportunities and changes that we as a people collectively make for people all around the world. We'll be back with our program after this brief message.
What if you could change the world? You can. We can do it together. With the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, you are here, and we are all connected. Together, we can enrich Jewish life, care for vulnerable populations, and build global Jewish community. That's what we do, every day, here at home and around the globe. Our Jewish Federation has accomplished so much and still needs keep growing. You can help us do even more. Community, like every gift, counts. Together, we can ensure a vibrant Jewish future. Federation and you, changing the world together.
Welcome back, and welcome to you, Roni Akale, Director General, and Grace Rodnitsky, the Director of International Relations of the Ethiopian National Project. Tell us, what is the Ethiopian National Project?
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
The Ethiopian National Project is this project created by the government of Israel with the participation of the Jewish diaspora, 1515. And the most important thing is the Ethiopian Jewish population, the representative of the Ethiopian Jewish people are a decision maker in this project.
Let me just understand something. You have partners in the Ethiopian National Project.
Yeah.
It's not only the Jewish Agency, the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee, but the Jewish Federation is also heavily involved. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I had it because we're very much a part of it, and we're a partnership with you. Okay, I want that to be clear.
Absolutely, the Jewish Federation of Greater Palm Beach County is doing amazing things with the Ethiopian National Project, with the concept being to transform the community and enable its full and successful integration in Israel. The Ethiopian Jewish community for 2,500 years lived totally cut off from the remainder of global Jewry. But they always dreamt of returning to Jerusalem. And when that was made possible, and they came first in Operation Moses in the mid-1980s, and then in Operation Solomon in 1991, today there's 131,400 Ethiopian Jews in Israel.
Wow.
Amazing. And why is there such a need for this project?
See, that's the thing. The greatest challenge facing the community is 49% are living in poverty. And poverty dictates everything. It makes it a true challenge to be integrated in Israel. So what we're doing is providing intensive educational programs with the support of Federation. We're providing youth at risk prevention through our youth outreach centers. Again, Federation doing amazing things to carry out these programs. But Roni's story is
So this is what I wanted to.
Exactly.
You know, what I think is important for our viewers to understand not only the amazing work that we're doing, and the need for this absorption and how critical our work is, but really the beginning of this. I was talking to Susan earlier, and we were talking about the fact that Beit Israel, the House of Israel, existed in Ethiopia for hundreds and hundreds of maybe thousands of years, using the Talmud for their ethical and moral behavior. I don't think anybody ever knew about what was taking place in Ethiopia.
I agree with you. The Ethiopian community, we live in Ethiopia 2,500 years as a Jewishness. We keep our religion very, very in the hard way. Even the people, they live in Ethiopia, they are fighting with us but we keep the religion, we keep the Jewishness, and we didn't lose hope, and we didn't lost dream to come to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
This dream becomes real when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When I born in the village, my parents told me that my country is Israel, Jerusalem. So every time I heard about Jerusalem, so when I was in the elementary school, I learned about Israel, and I continued to complete 12th grade in Gondar. After that, I was working for 2 years in the government of Ethiopia as a bookkeeper. But at the time, my best friend told me that this is the time to go to Jerusalem. How he knows that's the time to go to Jerusalem? The young generation of the Ethiopian community, the Jewish community, they go to Sudan and they go to Israel. And after that, they write a letter to him, and they told him, this is the time to go to Jerusalem. So when he say, this is the time to go to Jerusalem, and there is no question.
You
we
have to
leave
go.
everything,
Wow.
and we start to find someone to lead us.
You walked, though, didn't you?
Yeah, we walk. We find someone to lead us to Sudan, but it's very hard to believe or to trust someone that you don't know him. But the challenge is to come to Jerusalem. So we did it. So we go 8 days, 800 kilometers through Sudan. One thing that I remember and also written in my mind, after 3 days walking in the journey, the leader say, it's not far from here. Sudan is it's near here. So he gave us his donkey and his son, and after that we believe him that he gives his donkey and his son, but he lies because the journey is very long. We have 5 days to go. After 1 day and a half we go, the robbers came and took everything, and we don't have anything, nothing.
No food.
Oh my
no
goodness.
water.
Uh-huh.
So we continue to go. We believe that we go to Jerusalem, but there was another difficulty. The young boy that lead us, he doesn't know the way.
Oh.
We are in the jungle. We have donkey. We have young people. So we were lucky. The donkey knows the way.
The donkey knew
The
the way.
Because the donkey was a lot of time in Sudan,
Uh-huh.
and he'll start to lead us, and
That's
we believe
incredible.
that the donkey can lead us to Sudan. It's not. It's unavailable to believe that, because the donkey now when we imagine the donkey is a leader, we are going to Sudan, the enemy of Israel. And we believe that we can come to Israel in our deep belief.
Uh-huh.
In Sudan, the situation was very hard because many people are dead in malaria, dysentery.
So in other words, when you got to Sudan, then you had to, how did you get literally to Jerusalem?
When I met someone in Sudan that I know before. They are working for Mossad, and they give us a shelter and food. After that, they send us to Khartoum, from Khartoum to Cairo, from Cairo to Paris. From Paris, I came to Israel in 1983. When I came, I was alone. I came without nothing. I started my life from zero.
That had to have been so difficult, but I just want to ask you something about the people that went with you. I'm assuming they were strong, young, able, mostly men who had the energy and the physicality to make such an arduous trip. So you were totally without family for years until the other operations were able to take place. What exactly happened to you when you arrived in Israel?
You know, when we arrived to Israel, we start to learn Hebrew, and we go to the university to study and to complete the university. But at that time, also, we are thinking about our parents. to learn and to think about what happened for our parents in Ethiopia. It's very hard things that happened for me, because I didn't concentrate in the education, because all the time my mind was in Ethiopia. But I know the challenge is to complete the university. If I complete, I can help my parents. I can get a best job and best salary. That's what I did.
Amazing. I have to tell you, it had to be extraordinary when you think, first of all, you made a remarkable individual recovery by yourself. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I have to tell you, I can't imagine what it's like when you think about Operation Solomon, for instance. How many, Susan, was it 14,300 and some
25 or
Yes,
something?
precisely.
People came within 36 hours. I think it was the Prime Minister Shamir at that time.
Yeah.
And they had non-stop, secretly, because you see the Ethiopians were under terrible pressure from the government. There was a tremendous amount of anti-Semitism. I mean, they kept being Jewish with great courage, because it was not an easy thing to do. But when you have that many people coming in at one time, tell me how the government and the agency and what the work that you do helped and changed their lives.
Well, the Ethiopian National Project was actually created in 2004.
Oh, so
There had been 2 decades of work being carried out for the Ethiopian Jewish community, but still by 2004, some 75% were living under the poverty line. And in the previous decade, there had been a 600% increase in new juvenile delinquency files. So it was clear that despite the great efforts of all those who wanted to help the community, that there needed to be something different in order to really make a difference. And that was the idea of the Ethiopian National Project, to include the Ethiopian Israeli community itself as the leaders, as full participants, not merely beneficiaries. So from the highest echelons, the Director General, to the most grassroots level, every single parent, that is what really transformed that whole concept of not just providing assistance, but of creating an initiative that'll really transform the community. And the other thing that really set E&P apart after its creation was that everything E&P did was externally evaluated to determine whether or not the programs that it was carrying out were effective and impactful.
You did many studies.
You know, I
It's
have
really great.
a compilation here that I printed out, which took about half the paper I had in the house. Nonetheless, it tells about, it gives you an evaluation and overview of the programs they put in and the transformation that took place because of this. It's really, I don't think, Susan, that we understand completely how limited the population was when they came in, because they literally came into the 21st century in about 4 hours.
Exactly.
That's exactly
And-
right.
Yeah.
Roni can speak to that.
That's what I talk about. Most of the Ethiopian community came from the village,
Right.
and they were not in the school, and they didn't know how to read and write. But when they came to Israel without any education, they start from zero their education. And today, I am very glad to see many young Ethiopian generation. They are in the university, they are in the high school, they are in the high-tech area. Even we are in the politics.
And in the
Politics.
army.
In the army. Yeah.
There are around 4,000 Ethiopian Jews are serving now in the army, and around 415 are officers in the army, and I was an officer in the Israeli army, mental health officer. When you ask about Operation Shlomo, in that operation,
Solomon,
Solomon,
Yes.
I participated in that operation, and I was the first person that entered to the plane to say, "Welcome to Israel."
Oh, that
Oh,
must have
wow.
been amazing.
So after I complete my army, I was a manager of job placement to find for these people job and training, and to send them to the factory and to work to improve their income. It's not easy for Ethiopian Jewish because most of the Ethiopian Jewish didn't come with professional. As I say, they don't have any background of education. So to find job without education or without professional knowledge, it's very hard to
Oh
find.
my goodness, yeah.
Even today, we see the change becomes very fast, and then now the gap that's a huge gap becomes
Narrow.
Narrow
And I'm
Wow.
assuming with the generational growth, with the next generation, it's become easier because they were born in Israel,
Yeah.
and it's
The next generation is my
children.
my children.
Yeah.
So my children are today, they are involved everywhere, every place. Even my first child is in the army, in the elite colony force. So I think these children didn't need in the future any need from the others, because I and my wife Batsheva can help these children what they need.
Yeah.
But the challenge is...
I was just going to ask the biggest challenge. Yeah.
With so many of the community came illiterate, even in their native Amharic. And unlike Roni and his brothers and sister, for instance, who are all educated, they all have a first degree, and 5 of them have a second degree, and 4 of them are officers in the army, many of the community are illiterate. And so they are unable to give their children what they need in order to do well in school. So that's where EMP steps in, is to help those children whose parents aren't able to provide the guidance like Roni is able to provide his children. And we've identified education as being the best way to make that transformation. So you mentioned that it must be easier for the kids who are born in Israel. In fact, for the kids who are born in Israel, if they're born in poverty, without positive role models, without adults who can help them do well in school, then actually you're running the risk of a creation of a black underclass.
Yeah.
But by providing intensive educational assistance to these kids, like what we do with Palm Beach's support, after school, professional teachers, math, English, Hebrew, small groups of no more than 6 kids,
It's
getting that
wonderful.
intensive assistance,
It's really
that's the
extraordinary.
way that
and
we're going to
also
transform.
having the educated Ethiopians actually participating as these mentors for these young
Yeah.
children in these impoverished areas is just has to be remarkable and very, very effective.
You know, on that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the remainder of our program right after this brief message.
Thousands of community members come together through programs and services provided by Federation and our local partner agencies to create a vibrant and vital community in Palm Beach County. Together, we can ensure a vibrant Jewish future. Federation and you, changing the world together. Federation and our overseas partners support the resurgence of Jewish life in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union. We also provide humanitarian assistance wherever Jews encounter poverty and crisis. Community, like every gift, counts. Together, we can ensure a vibrant Jewish future. Federation and you, changing the world together.
Welcome back to Mosaic. Prior to the break, we were talking about the challenges. No matter what we do, there are always challenges. Susan, you have a question you want to ask?
I do. Your degree is in social work.
First degree social work, second degree public administration.
So when you received your degree in the 1990s, before ENP was evolved, were you instrumental in putting together this organization, or who did you work for? I know you saw that there was such a great need for this. Tell me about your role in instituting.
You know, when I was in Ethiopia, I told you that I was working as a bookkeeper. When I came to Israel, I changed my professions and to study social work because I wanted that I want to help myself and want to help the other people. And when I graduated social work, I go to help this community because the other helped me to graduate my first degree. When I graduated, and if I go to help these people, I know better than the others because the language, culture, and the
Yeah,
two
they can relate to
mentalities.
you, yeah.
Because I am very near for these people to understand them in their language, in their culture, and to get the solution as fast as I can. That's the important thing that I do for this new Ethiopian Jewish people. They came to
Wonderful,
Israel.
wonderful.
Really
What are some of the
wonderful.
programs that you have, Grace?
So the major work that we do is with children in the realm of education and risk prevention. You know, recognizing that these kids have huge potential, but what they're really lacking is opportunity. By providing them with the help that they need, that oftentimes their parents are not able to give them. You know, more and more Israeli parents, for instance, are out of pocketing extra money in order to provide supplemental tutorial assistance to their children. They're helping their children with the homework, with the math and the English. These parents are unable to provide that to their kids. So we, after school, not during the school day, during the
after
school
school.
day, it's the responsible of the government of Israel to provide children with everything they need. What we provide kids is purely supplemental after-school intensive scholastic assistance, but not just scholastic. We provide holistic assistance, recognizing that the barriers to these children's success is also social and emotional. You know, even performing, for instance, family visits, going home and seeing, you know, when a child is living with 8 siblings, you know, in a 3-room house without a place to do homework, that can absolutely make it so that the child is not performing well during the school day. We had a situation, a tragic situation, where a girl's mother passed away. And the school didn't internalize that was really impacting the child's performance. And the staff of our program realized that this girl, who had been an outstanding student the year before, but was a poor student that next year, that was because of her grief. And by helping that child get through her grief, she once again, instead of being lowered in their tracks and ruining her chances for doing well in the exams that would enable her to get you know, into college and university, and ruining her life because of one poor performance year, because of the insight of our professionals working in the program, working with the schools, advocating for the children that they're working with. That's the way that child by child, these kids' lives are being transformed.
It's amazing. You, because you're so successful, does the government help fund any of these programs?
The Ethiopian National Projects funding comes primarily from 2 sources. One is the government of Israel, and the other is a 50-50 match that community by community is provided by every community that says we want to support the Ethiopian National Project, just like the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County does. So $2.5 million annually has been provided by the government of Israel, and that has been matched $2.5 million annually by federations and by individuals as well in those communities who are providing supplemental gifts to federations. Like here in Palm Beach, we have the amazing, 2 amazing families. We have Alan and Phyllis Newman. We have Bentad Lyons, both of whom are incredible supporters of the Ethiopian National Project, together with Federation. But the exciting thing is, and this is a brand new development that's literally hot off the press, is that the government, recognizing the outstanding performance of the Ethiopian National Project and the transformation that we've been able to engender in the few thousand kids who are in our program. You know, this year we have 3,900 kids in our program. The government of Israel has asked ENP to triple its work
Oh
in
my
the coming
goodness.
school year.
Whoa, that's terrific.
And they've said they'll back it up. They are providing ENP and actually have the budget lines already. The Ministries of Finance, Education, and Immigration together will be providing $5 million of additional funds to ENP in the 2014-15 school year. For the first 3 years, $5 million each year, and then phasing out through 2024. But because ENP is a 50-50 partnership with Diaspora Jewry, the need today is that the Jewish communities like Palm Beach that supports ENP steps up even further to provide even greater support to ENP so that the additional children can be in our program. So for instance, in Ramla, right now we're serving 177 kids in our Scholastic Assistance Program. In the coming year, we're looking to serve 250. We're looking to carry out 2 parents' workshops and have our Youth Outreach Center. All of that requires additional funds.
Right.
But we're looking at really as child by child, just like that one child I told you. You know, one child, 1 year is just $1,000. And that's all that really makes the difference.
Makes
in
a
child's
huge
life.
difference for the entire country.
Absolutely.
You know, the Ethiopian immigration, the Ethiopian Jewish in Israel, is a young generation. There is a big potential that we can change the reality of the Ethiopian community in a short time, because most of them are in the age of under the age of 18. They have a very motivation people. They want to learn. They want to go up to the education system and to be equal to the Israeli society.
Can I tell you something? With somebody like you at the head, and you are remarkable, I'm not worried. I really have a tremendous faith for the future, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
We both
Thank you so
enjoyed
much.
so
Thank you.
much having
Yes.
you on the program.
And
Thank
thank
you.
you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week as we take another look into the Jewish world. Goodbye from Mosaic.
What if you could change the world? You can. We can do it together. Federation and you. Changing the world together.